Hello friends, my name is Joe Boyne, the CEO of Boyne Farms Complex. I am a cattle farmer, generally a livestock farmer because I'm into cattle, goat and sheep farming. But the main concentration as we speak is on the cattle farming. Today I'm taking it upon myself to educate you on how to rear the animal or the factors that you should consider if you have decided to rear cattle. Every business requires information and education for you to succeed. So for you to get the right information today, I'm going to guide you. The first thing that you have to consider after you have decided to rear cattle is the passion for the job. There is nothing that you can achieve in this world without having passion for it. Why passion? You should love animals. You should love cattle. You shouldn't be afraid of them. You should love to be dirty because cattle farming comes along with dirt. You see, we are in the ranch. You see the feces of the animal and all this. Can you entertain all these things? If you are ready for this, then it means you are good to go. You can start the cattle farming. It's one of the factors that you should consider. Secondly, you should also consider capital. Rearing cattle is very capital intensive. You need a lot of money to start the cattle farming. When we talk of capital, what do we mean? The money or the resources that you need to start. When we are talking about the money, we are talking about the money that you use to buy the cattle itself. You need land. The land on which you are going to rear the animals is a factor that you should critically consider. You need a land. It shouldn't be a big land, depending on your resources or the size of the farm that you're starting. You can start small, even on a one plot, half plot, whatever. You should consider this. Also, apart from the land, you also need money to take care of the animal in terms of medication. You have money to buy medicines for the animal. You also have money to provide water resources. The money you need to feed the animal, depending on the type of farming you are considering. Either you are going for zero grazing or free grazing, and then either you are going for intensive or semi-intensive. All these things will depend on the analysis or the type of farming that you want to carry out. So with this, it will determine the amount of money you will require when it comes to feeding, or whether you need something for feeding or not. Also, when it comes to capital, we are talking about the wages that you will be paying to your herdsmen. Because if you cannot get the time to manage the farm yourself, it means you need another hands or extra hands to come and manage the farm for you. You need money to pay your Fulani herdsmen so that they can also take very good care of the animals for you. After getting all these things, the land, medication, salary, and all those things, you also need the type of housing. Maybe sometimes you have to build some house for the Fulani herdsmen so that they will have a comfortable place to live. And so also, you have to build a ranch. That is the place where the animals will be kept. Which type of ranch are you going to use? It will depend on your resources. You can go for the simple ranch like this, where you don't need much funds to do. I use metal for this one. I didn't start with metal. I started with wood. But going for that, I realized the rules using the wood, it is not much durable. So to be comfortable, I decided to change for the metal. As for the metal, it will take a long time, but it is more expensive than using the wood. And when it comes to the housing the animals also, some people also put up a better structure where they have roof covering the animals. In this case, most people go for the fattening and also the zero grazing method. When you have the zero grazing method, you need to use this housing where you roof the house for the animals to be comfortable. Also, when you are going to the milking of the animal. So, in terms of capital, these and many other things that you can consider when you want to start the cattle farm. Capital involves the resources that you can use to manage the farm. In fact, depending on the type of the farming, when you want to go to the intensive, sometimes you will have to buy feed from other market of feed supplying agencies or institutions. You can also have a land where you plant your own feed, the grass that you use to feed the animal. When you are considering this system of farming, then it is prudent also to determine how you make the feed. Sometimes you need a tractor, you need a hay cutter, and you need a hay baler. That's where you want to bale your grass. To make the work very convenient for you, you need a tractor, a hay cutter, and also a hay baler. All these things are very expensive, but it is not undoable. You can do it. If you do it like this, you are able to make the feed, keep them for dry season, so that when during the dry season, when feeding is all the grasses and other things have dried and feeding becomes very difficult to come by, you rely on this bale of peas to feed the animals. So when it comes to capital, it depends on how you want to start the farm. If you don't have much resources, then you should sit down and consider the most appropriate method that will help you from the start. So that going forward, when the resources are coming, you begin to graduate from one stage to the other. That is for the capital. The third factor that you should consider is also the purpose of the farming. You see, with cattle, you can produce milk. That is, technically, we are going for the dairy farming, meaning the purpose of your farming, the purpose of your farm is to produce milk for sale. So the main purpose of the farm is to produce milk for sale. With that, it depends. It has its own pros and cons, the consequences, the kind of capital you need, the kind of cattle or the animal you need for this purpose. You can also consider breeding or rearing the animal for meat. This is what I am doing. The main purpose of my farm is to produce them for meat. This also has its own consequence, how you should manage the animals. It has its own capital implications and so on and so forth. So when you are going to the cattle farm, consider whether you are going to do for dairy milk or for meat. You should consider this factor. The next factor you should consider is the location, the business location. It is not every environment that you can rear cattle. So when you are going to the cattle farm, you should consider the location where you want to situate your farm. Sometimes you should think about closeness to market. If you rear the animal and during the time that you want to sell them, you can't get people to buy them, then it means you are making bad investment. You are not making good investment. You didn't plan well. So it is prudent that when you are starting the capital, you should consider the market implication, the location that you are rearing the animal, the closeness to market, or if you are not close to market, the network. You should have a network of marketers so that after getting them in good shape and you want to sell them, these people will be available to buy them. Location. The reason why also you have to consider the location is that sometimes when you go to very far and isolated place, you are likely to face the challenge of theft. The robbers, many people want to steal the animals and sell for whatever means that I don't know. Whilst you are planning shaping your life, people also will be thinking about the means to bring you down. So when you are siting your farm, you should also think about the location. Don't be so isolated such that when you have a security challenge, you won't get backup. You won't get backup. So location is very critical when you are. Don't be so isolated such that your security will be in danger. You shouldn't forget that your animals should be cared for in terms of health. Their health should be a topmost priority, so that you won't lose your animal through death and diseases. So the fifth point that you have to consider, or factor that you have to consider, is the availability of veterinary officers around and veterinary shops, so that when you need somebody to take care of your animals, you can consult these veterinary officers to take care of them. Instead of that, you can also hire somebody. Your herdsman should be somebody who is well experienced and, for that matter, can treat the animal whenever the need arises. In that case too, you should be close. There should be available shops where you can buy the veterinary drugs to treat your animal. So you should consider all these factors. This knowledge and other consideration can help you to put your farm in a better shape. The sixth point that you have to consider is security. Cattle farming is very lucrative and enviable. So many people, many robbers always want to attack. They want to steal the animal and sell them for money. The reason is that if you sell just one cattle, you can risk a lot of money. So these people mostly try to steal the animal. So you can't start cattle farming without considering security measures. Sometimes you should be linking with security agencies like the police service and also the fire service and any other security service that you can liaise with. That will help you to assist whenever there's an attack. You contact them. You should also have security what do you call it? Ammunitions and other things. What do you call it? Gun and other security tools. Gun, arrows and other things. You should have a watchman or a security personnel around your own. You have somebody to be taking care of your animals in the night when your herdsmen are asleep. Somebody also should be in charge to watch over the animals. You provide the person with lances, guns, and other things, so that when there's an attack, he can defend himself, defend the animals, and defend the herdsmen. All these factors you have to consider. In terms of security, now technology is also advancing. Why not consider using CCTV cameras, other trackers, so that wherever you are, you can track your animals. When your animals are moving, you can have the traces of where your animals are. That one will serve as a security even over your herdsmen, external forces, and so on and so forth against theft. These are many other security measures that you can consider when you are starting the cattle farming. Also, depending on the type of farming, you should also consider the type of breed that you use to start the farming. You can think of starting with Gudali, the most popular cattle in the market. They are the most expensive one. So you can consider Gudali. Another one that you can think of are the Boboji. I know of Boboji. The third one is Yakana. And many other types. You can consider some of these type of animals that you use to start your farm. Also, last but not the least, what you should consider again is the environment. Your farm should not be a nuisance to those people living around your environment. The physics, the ranch location. Sometimes if there are other crop farms around, you should make sure that you manage your farm such that they will not destroy other people's farm. You will not destroy other people's farm because they are also dependent on that crop farm to have a living. And you are also running your animals for profit. So why should your animals go and destroy somebody's farm? So you should think about the environment, the location, and closeness of to water bodies. You should make sure that you preserve available water bodies so that these animals will not destroy the water that is around the rivers and other source of water. You shouldn't allow your animals to destroy them. So as I speak, these are among the many factors that you have to consider when you are going to start your cattle farm. It is very important. If you have this knowledge, it will help you to start well. And the bonus factor is that you should consider either your farming is for breeding or for fattening purposes. Some people buy the animals, they keep them in a location, feed them till they become big, so that they sell them for cash, where they reap a lot of profit. If that is the purpose, some buy the animals as young as this one. They keep them for a year or two, and when they've grown up, they sell them. Some also buy the animals for short term during the dry season from December through to January, February. Mostly the prices of animal come down because people don't get feed to feed their animals, and for that matter, they are forced to sell their animals out at a cheaper cost. So some people take advantage over this, buy these animals cheap, keep them for 3 or 6 months. Where the rain starts coming, they feed them and then sell them out. With this, they also get a lot of money. And if it is not for this purpose, I call this one the retail part of the cattle rearing business. If not for this, you can also be keeping your animals like this for procreation, for production. They will be giving birth year in, year out. The cattle give birth almost every 9 months. So year in, year out, they will be giving birth for multiplication. You multiply them and then you will be trying to sell some for their upkeep and for profit. So these and many other things that you have to consider when you want to start the cattle farm. My name is Joe Boahen. I'm a chartered accountant and also a government worker. But I've realized that you cannot depend on one source of income to be rich or to be financially free. So if you want to seek financial freedom, I encourage you to find other sources of income. I'm not saying everybody should be rearing animals. There are many other business opportunities that you can explore to get rich. So let us create other sources of income. Like, subscribe to my YouTube channel by searching for the name Joe Boahen. If you like the channel, you should comment you should share with other people so that we will grow together. We all become rich one day. When you are rich, I am rich, and the other people are rich. You all have a peaceful environment to stay. Let us join hands together to make this possible. Like my page and share with other people. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.